right, there we go. So yeah, I read chapter 1030 a couple days ago. I've been wanting to let it sit on me to see how I actually felt about the chapter. I thought I was a fake One Piece fan or something for having certain opinions on this chapter that a lot of other people did not have. Like big YouTubers didn't have. Rogers Base has one of the funniest fucking thumbnails out on the fucking internet. Period. On any video posting platform of him not happy with this chapter. Starting off this Drake and Appoo thing, I'm just gonna go through a couple things that I thought were interesting as I scroll down. Only thing that I could draw from this that I thought was interesting was the fact that Drake looks like he chased Appoo into like a corner maybe and like looked up at these fucking guys and was like, Drake's pretty fucking strong.
It's just more so interesting because of the fact that these guys actually scare Drake and stop him from his pursuit of Appoo.
You know, stuff like this, Oda always does. They're like these little mini side-ish things. And Oda's pretty good with following through, but a lot of these times they do get the reward for these small, trying to pay attention to these small little side quests is usually pretty small. Like he'll tie it up, but we probably won't see anything that, Appoo does important relative to this scene for a long time. I'm almost betting on it. There's no room for it here. That eyes can see. Maybe somewhere. Oda's story. I don't see any room for this right now in Wano in terms of whatever this interaction is going to bring out of Drake. Because I'm not gonna lie, to a lot of people, Drake has kind of bumped himself up on their their popularity list. Personally, just from being in this arc, not that he's done anything in particularly cool, but seeing his face a lot, him being honest to himself. He's a very honest guy. He is a backstabber, but in terms of the reader, expressing himself to the reader, Oda does a good job at that. So nothing too crazy that I think I want to talk about more from that specifically. But then we get to this next scene. And this is what I meant when I said I felt like I was a fake One Piece fan. I love Kinemon. I didn't think Kinemon was dead in the first place. I don't know why anybody did. It didn't look like Kinemon died. Okay. I was watching King of Lightning stream on this chapter, and he had some fucking guys in there. And these guys are always trying to gaslight King. Or maybe they're all just really good friends. I don't know. They were just going so hard, like, just kept saying the same thing. Nobody ever died. Nobody ever died. Duh, you fucking idiot. Can't you fucking realize that by now? So why is this a thing now?
And I know some of you guys are going to be like, what about Pound? It was a thing with Pound. We definitely didn't like when it happened with Pound. Pound should have died. My thing is just, why are you not desensitized? That's my entire thing. And you can have your answer. I'm just still going to be the one to ask the question. Because it is a little baffling to me how one can expect a different outcome over and over again when put in the same exact situation where you weren't set up for death. That's insanity by definition. And when I say set up for a death, of course, I'm meaning set up for a death in the way that Oda would normally kill a character off in current timing. Oda already had a setup in place for Kinemon. His setup was that they were going to die together, meaning the scabbards. Yes, they were together when they were fighting Kaido, but you all know that it was a stretch to believe that Kinemon was dead in that scenario. We are making ourselves mad at this point. Not speaking for everyone, but a lot of us, and I'm sure of that.
Is it because you really want it? Like, you guys really just don't like Kinemon? Is that it? Just say you guys don't like Kinemon. Don't blame it on the writing of Oda. If Oda doesn't like killing characters in the story, that's his fucking story.
And I started to kind of rant, so I didn't get a chance to actually finish this point and drive it home. My main thing is that people try to call this objectively bad writing when none of the patterns that Oda normally has have been displayed to think that Kinemon would die. So calling it objectively bad writing, I think, is just not good. Instead, that I more so would want to align myself with the idea that a lot of readers are having expectations of this story that are unrealistic. Not saying that it's unrealistic to kill a character. That's very realistic in war, and that's a lot of people's problems. But unrealistic in the sense of who is writing this story. Oh, and by the way, power scaling is not a part of writing. That's literally up to the fans. That's the thing for the fans. Like, power scaling is not a part of writing. So saying, like, if you're telling a story with no illustrations, and you say, and you know that there's a strong guy like Kaido, and you're telling the story and you say, and then Kaido struck Kinemon on the head. The most powerful warrior struck him on the head. And then, a couple days later, you're telling the next part of the story, and you say, but Kinemon lives. Kinemon explains how, even though it's not that good of an explanation. That has nothing to do with writing. That's just information about how the story is going forward. That's not bad writing. Power scaling has nothing to do with writing. Now, I don't agree with that shit at all. I think Kinemon should be fucking gone. I think he should be gone from that attack. Even though I love him and I'm not mad that he's dead. I wouldn't mind it if he was dead at all. I wouldn't mind. That'd be great. But that has nothing to do with writing. You can't call Oda a bad writer for Kinemon surviving. Maybe the explanation if you want to, which is also not bad writing, but you can get mad at that too. Maybe how they toned down the tension from the chapters.
Is it because you really want it? Like, you guys really just don't like Kinemon? Is that it? Just say you guys don't like Kinemon. Don't blame it on the writing of Oda. If Oda doesn't like killing characters in the story, that's his fucking story. There's no way to write that. You can dislike something. You can dislike something. I understand that, but Oda, you're doing this over and over. Like, Pell survived a nuke. You guys have not been desensitized to this yet. And also, my personal feeling come into play as well. I like Kinemon personally. I love Kinemon. Kinemon is one of the funniest characters. Kinemon is one of the funniest characters in One Piece. Kinemon and Momonosuke used to fucking kill me in Punk Hazard. Punk Hazard, all the way through Dressrosa. Like Momonosuke in particular. Like, in those little scenes, was it headed to Dressrosa or was it headed to... Yeah, I think it was headed to Dressrosa. We got like a bunch of stuff on the boat. Nami, Kinemon, Momonosuke. I really got a chance to bond with those guys. I love Kinemon. So him being alive doesn't bother me. Him being alive doesn't make sense. Quite frankly, it does. The explanation was shit, I'll admit. But I don't even think that's the real explanation, quite frankly. That wasn't confirmed to be the real explanation. Kinemon was pondering to himself, if that's the right term, about why am I fucking alive? Well, what's the most fucking crazy thing that's happened to me besides me getting hit with Kaido's club with Conqueror's Hockey? I got sliced in half at Punk Hazard, however long ago that was. Not that long ago. I got sliced in half at Punk Hazard. And maybe he's just thinking to himself, maybe Law didn't put me back together. Let me go back, get to thinking about Kiku, how I can help with this raid. That's not a concrete answer to why he's alive. It's not. Okay, sorry, and now I'm editing this in. The explanation is actually even more shit because it's implying that Kaido stabbed directly on the spot where Kinemon was severed. I was thinking he was implying that when he hit him with the hammer, that's what could have killed him, but I forgot that Kinemon got stabbed as well. So that makes the explanation a little more shit. Like, coincidentally, you got stabbed where you were severed. Like, oh, fuck, shit, please. It's not a concrete answer. And for all I know, I'm reaching. But the fact that I'm a very logical person, I'm very down to... like when I'm debating, when I power scale and I debate people, I kind of like to stick with what's concrete. A lot of people like to, and Itachi is a Sharingan, so his hand-to-hand should be way better than Pain's. Okay, like, what's making you think that Pain doesn't have superior hand-to-hand? We've seen Pain box with Six Tails. We've seen Itachi box with Naruto in Chakra mode, but Naruto is talking to him, trying to get intel, vice versa. So there are no negatives that would make one think Pain is less capable at hand to hand. I'm the same way in One Piece. Yeah, and I kind of went on a little ramble there, but that example was just to show how I look at manga as a whole and how I look at One Piece. Kinemon didn't die. We didn't get a confirmation that he was dead, so I had no reason to believe such. That's all I'm saying. I'm a very logical guy. I'm not gonna jump the gun, especially knowing how Oda writes his story already. What Oda does, or what he likes to do, I should say, or what he doesn't like to do, I should say. I don't think Oda likes to waste the development that he's given those characters with us, the reader, and with Luffy and the Straw Hats. Every character that we see, for the most part, that people might think, oh, he should have died. What if this guy dies? They're always tied to the Straw Hats, and they always have development. And the people who do die were the ones that were less attached to the Straw Hats, in terms of Luffy, mainly, Nami, like, who do we get that died in the whole cake? Pedro. We saw him on missions with Brook, that type of thing. So I'm rambling on. I was about to keep going on, to be honest, but I want to get through more of this chapter. I'm not mad at Kinemon dying. It didn't look like he was about to die. The pattern in which Oda writes doesn't suggest that the way we saw Kinemon after the blow Kaido gave him, it doesn't look like he was gonna die. It just doesn't. So this whole notion about Oda's baiting and switching, is he baiting and switching? Or are you just a fool? Yes, it's a bait and switch because okay, look, but how much of a fool are you to think that Kinemon was dead in that scenario when Oda has never killed a character so briefly? Excuse the noise. Oda has never done that. Yasui got an entire send-off. He got an entire moment. It was sad as fuck. Pedro, send-off. He got sent off in a explosion. Kinemon, head bash, cut to the next scene. Or next chapter. I can't remember how that scene ended. But that was it. After his head was smashed, there was nothing else in that scene. It was over. And you guys think Kinemon's dead. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, man. Let's continue. I can't remember which YouTuber it was. Somebody made me think. I think it was Sawyer7 Mage. I have to make a video on all the YouTubers that I watched that helped me get through my journey catching up on One Piece, because those guys got me way ahead of the game versus any other casual watchers. Like I'm not as down to, with the facts as guys who've been watching for years, but anybody else who like watches and caught up, they don't have shit on me. Like they don't have shit on me in this story. But yeah, Sawyer was basically saying Usopp is 9 times out of 10, or not 9 times out of 10, but I think 9 times out of 10. He's more than likely going to be the one that's going to take down Orochi. Usopp is always that guy that takes down kind of like the boss that's not the boss, Spandam, the toy girl from Just Rosa. I'm trying to think of more. Mr. 2 back in the day. I can't remember how that fight went.
Yeah, because I love how I just go back and fucking Usopp is actually getting completely destroyed by Mr. 3. Oh, fuck. It was Mr. 5 that was fucking him up. I didn't go back and look at the whole chapter, but my memory was definitely wrong on that. I remembered him being a very crucial part of that fight because I remember the other Straw Hats weren't in it. It was Usopp and Luffy. But I thought I could have sworn Usopp did some more than that. Fuck. But I know you guys know more than me. There are some other Usopp moments where he's taking down big guys. If there are, way more than I'm actually remembering. I would love for you guys to drop them in the comments, please. Go ahead, feel free.
Usopp played a huge role against Mr. 2. Not Mr. 2, Mr. 3. Excuse me. And Orochi is kind of like that guy in this arc, but bigger. I think Orochi, if Usopp taking down Orochi is going to be like a bigger deal than him taking down anybody else. Because I feel like we're getting closer to that Elbaf Usopp coming into his. Like, I got a feeling Usopp in the last arc is going to be a fucking tough, hard ass. He's still going to be, Usopp that we know, but I have a feeling that brave pirate warrior shit is going to, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, and Kiku and Kanjuro being alive, I literally don't give a fuck about Kanjuro in the manga. Like, in the anime, Kanjuro is so much cooler. He's so much cooler in the anime. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it's the reverse with all the scabbards, except Kinemon. Kinemon is, like, funny as fuck in the anime. Yeah, like, fucking Kanjuro draws this big ass fucking shit that's gonna look horrible in the anime. They're not gonna try and animate this. Like I can't imagine what this would look like good. I don't want to. This thing, the design isn't. I'm not crazy about it. So it's probably gonna give this shit 2D fucking not 2D hand drawn. I'm talking about 2D fucking graphics. Just throw some blob shit and have that shit sliding across the screen. And now a change in setting also. You have fire and shit everywhere. Everything's on fucking fire. And we're gonna go down to like where shit is interesting past Yamato, sorry. And here's where we get to the nitty gritty. Okay. Big Mom versus Kid in Law. And we find out Kid and Law are awakened. Kid and Law are indeed awakened. How do I feel about this? Some people were mad about this. A lot of people were hyped. A lot of people were happy that they got something like this right after the stuff that we just got with, Kinemon, Kiku, Kanjuro, Orochi. Like, people were like, fuck, I'm tired of seeing these fucking, like, all these characters that I just named die. That's what people are thinking. And then we get these awakenings, and I feel like a lot of people were happy about that. And a lot of people thought it was still bullshit after, and they thought this chapter was fucking shit. How do I feel about this? I'm down the middle. Do I think it's cool? Yes, I think it's cool. Do I think it's out of nowhere? Do I think it should have been brought up earlier if this was going to be the case? Absolutely. There's no getting around that. All right.
And once again, I'm not necessarily calling this bad writing, but Oda does know his audience. And there is no getting around, which is what I was saying. There is no getting around this tactic that he's using to now reveal these devil fruits, even though we know Oda to reveal things in flashbacks. We know for him to have big revelations off screen. I don't think it's objectively bad writing, but there is no getting around the fact that he did still use that tactic to get a very huge plot detail referring to the power scaling of these characters when it's pretty much a battle shonen, you know, in a lot of aspects. So yeah, there's no getting around that.
No getting around Law just not ever mentioning that he's awakened. There's no getting around that at all. Oda is not, I'm not saying that's a knock. There's just no getting around that. That's something that probably should have had more setup. Maybe, like I said earlier, there's no specific way to write things, or I might have said that in my last take, but preferably, and I feel like I might want to speak for most critical readers and watchers, because there are a lot of casuals. I'm a critical watcher, but I watch things and enjoy them as a casual. But when I talk about them with others, I talk about them critically. Like, there's no show that I don't talk about, that I don't view critically, but it doesn't stop me from enjoying it as like a casual kind of a watcher. I felt about this, besides the fact that I felt like it could have been, you know, a little foreshadowed or something, not like he was planning for it to come out here. I don't even think Big Mom was supposed to be fighting this much in this arc. I had a feeling Big Mom was gonna flee earlier in this arc, honestly, and get the fuck out of here, and we would meet her elsewhere, and she would catch her fate with Luffy later on. But she's doing a lot of fighting, and I think this is honestly the quickest way to get her out of the picture. I think once she's done here, because I think they're gonna run. I don't think they're gonna keep trying to fight because they're burnt out. They just use the rest of their attacks. Okay, she's too fucking strong. We're done. We're done. We gotta get stronger. Not everybody does them on the first try. Luffy and them, 2-year time skip training. Not saying everybody else wasn't training too, but sometimes that's what needs to happen. We've seen Kid take L's and just like literally hold his L's to like the point of no return. No, you don't have to take this L all the way. Get your little hits in. Get the fuck out of there. Come back stronger. You know? So I really feel like that's gonna happen, and Big Mom is gonna, you know, get out of the rubble, because she wasn't hurt by the rubble. The rubble didn't hurt her, by the way. It didn't have any like the metal that was hitting her in the face and shit. She's just like, what the fuck? I'm a magnet. This shit is smacking me. Like, what? It wasn't hurting her. I think she's just gonna get out of there. Zeus and whatnot. And don't forget, we have Pedals on the way. We do have him with Marco. Well, I don't know if he's still with Marco. I can't remember. But Pedals is coming. He's gonna fucking get his mom. They're gonna get the fuck out of there. That's what I think is gonna happen there. But on the actual devil fruits themselves being awakened, Laws looks cool as shit.
Hey guys, I edited it out, but I was about to go on a little tangent about how much Oda has to draw, and how I would love if some of these panels could be as lively as pre-time skip One Piece. But you know, there's so much going on. The world is so much bigger, and his drawings and his paneling reflects that. It's not bad artwork by any means. I was just, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind if there was a little more detail in some of these really important chapters. Like, I wouldn't mind sacrificing attention to detail in some chapters for the battle chapters to have crazy attention to detail. I wouldn't mind, because I was super fucking confused about Law's ability at first, but you'll see right after this.
What I was about to say was kind of like a little tangent on just the artwork, and it all looks good, but just like how I miss like those close-up shots from early One Piece, those close-ups of guys, you know, standing with their fist in their faces, holding like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this. Luffy just ready, yeah. Zoro with a sword, yeah, you know, those type of things. But the actual abilities themselves, I'm not too sure what they are. My friend had this suggestion that what if Law could apply his rune to himself and fucking teleport all around, fucking, you know, I don't know, it'd be some weird shit that he was talking about, but it was cool. And I almost thought that's what was happening here, because Law, you see him using his anesthesia, applying it to his sword, and then the next scene he's like right above Big Mom, but actually he just jumps off the cliff he's on and stabs her, doesn't do anything, which is confusing. It would have been hell of a lot helpful if that could have actually stabbed her through the fucking throat. Hell of a lot helpful. But you know what? That's why I'm just now realizing how his fucking shit works. That's why I didn't stab her. He put the rune on his damn sword. Duh, I'm an idiot. It's been like 3-4 days, and I wasn't sure what the fuck. I'm like, okay, Lost Sword is strong. It's big as shit. It's thick. It's a big black sword. and he just stuck it in Big Mom, and he says, the incision is harmless? What type of vital points do you know about that a sword doesn't? What? But no, that's what he's doing. He's putting his room on the sword so it slides through Big Mom. He says that incision is harmless. The word incision threw me off because it's like, and this is the unofficial translation, by the way. The word incision threw me off because it's making me think it's actually like a regular, it is an incision, but cutting through flesh. Now he kind of slides it through her, and then he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's inside her. Pause. Okay, that's actually cool. I'm getting kind of goosebumps right now, just because I'm now realizing what it actually is. It's not the most intense thing, but it's super fucking cool. Like, I'd love to see his actual room be like, I want to see his room evolve. I want to see fucking, like, I want to see a room like the size of fucking an entire island. And he's just like, bro, you step on this island, you're done. Like, imagine like Emperor of the Sea Law. His entire island is his room. Oh, fuck. Holy fuck. But yeah, that was cool. Kid's ability, I really liked his. Because it's very, Kid is a paramecia, and what we know about paramecias and how their awakened fruits kind of like allow them to expand their devil fruit powers into the area around them. This very much aligns with that. Kid's devil fruit, it's very simple. It's not too much to think about, not too hard. Oh, he applied his magnetism to Big Mom. I think he said something like apply. What did he say? What did he say? He said take some magnet. A sign. He said a sign. He said a sign. And he assigned, I guess, his magnetism, I almost said quirk, devil fruit to Big Mom. He applied magnetism to her. He assigned it to her, turned her into a damn magnet. And then she starts getting whacked with all these fucking steel beams. It reminds me of that scene from Naruto and when Pain is fighting Six Tails in Naruto. And basically Naruto's inside the fucking Shibak Tensei. And fucking, he's shooting these laser beams down. You know, he's on his way up. And he's trying to like destroy the rock, and basically Pain like starts smacking more rocks into him fast as fuck. That's how I picture these steel beams hitting Big Mom's face, like just ramming into her one after another. Bing, 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 bing. She's like, huh? What the fuck? I can't fucking move. And then, you know, they retreat from not from the battle, but from the collateral damage of, you know, the punk crash, or whatever you want to call it. And that's the chapter, man. Like, I thought this was a pretty cool chapter overall. Like, people were heated about this chapter. I love Kinemon. Being honest, the execution of that scene was not perfect. It was not good at all. I don't like how the tonal shift came out of nowhere. But Oda is very aware of his story. He's very aware of his audience, the readers. And I think he's aware of how the reaction would be for a lot of us. Seeing Kinemon is still alive after so many of us wanted him dead. Along with the other scabbards, they wanted that. They didn't just want him dead. A lot of people do want it to feel like there was some like there are consequences to this war. Like there should be casualties, and there should be. It's war. But like I said, I'm not personally. I love Kinemon. I didn't think he was gonna die before. I think it's a good chance he might still die, which is why he's being brought back in such a goofy manner. It would be pretty sad if Kinemon just went out just sad as fuck and, you know, desperate. You know, that would not be, you know, I don't think that many of us would enjoy. So a lot of us would enjoy, like, oh, you just tortured me. But like, I don't want to see that happen to a character. I don't want to see that happen to Kinemon. No, you know, Kinemon and his energy and his glow a little bit, the same way we met him, jokes and shit right before they send him off to fucking die. I wouldn't be mad at that. But yeah, guys, that's the video for today. We're gonna be talking some My Hero a little later on this week, maybe in a couple of days, and then we're gonna be back on One Piece again. JJK videos are coming soon. I want to let the manga do a little running because I'm gonna do some retro perspective reviews on that manga. But yeah, guys, you guys be safe.